Y'all, how y'all doing? Hey, it's the weather's crazy out here. Yeah, I just crossed the Louisiana line back to my cousin Robbie's house. He lives kind of like close to the, well, not real close, but he lives, you know, closer than I do to Louisiana. But anyway, my cousin, he's turning me on to this Honda. He got another car. He really much don't need this thing anymore. I told him, he told me not to worry about it. Whenever I get on my feet and things start going better for me, that he would it's a 5-speed. I don't have a lot of time on the footage, but it's a good running car. It's a 97 Honda. It's a stick shift. And it's a keeper, man. It runs real good. Guy told me it had a rebuilt motor put in it about 50,000, well, about 75,000 miles ago. So it's a good one, man. I sure am grateful that he helped me out. Become a part of my life again because, you know, it's one of them things where, you know, you start living right, doing things right and keeping it straight. He's coming back around in my life, you know what I mean? So I sure am blessed with that, you know. I'm really appreciate it. I am going to try to show his kids, man. His kids want to make a video so bad. And if y'all think my twang is funny, you ought to hear Robbie's son. But anyway, I'm going to get off here and let things go. I just want to let everybody know that I'm okay. I've just been traveling with Robbie and doing a lot of talking, doing a lot of catching up, you know. It's one of the things where, you know, I didn't keep in contact with biggest part of my family. He's on my dad's side, my real dad's side of the family, you know what I'm saying? So it's just one of them things where it's just one of those things, you know what I'm saying? I'm just blessed on it, you know what I'm saying? I got blessed by doing the right things in my life, and it just makes me wonder how much of my life have I wasted, you know, by not living right and not keeping it straight, you know what I'm saying? Now I got people that are coming back into my life, you know what I mean? And that's all I got to say to other people out there that might be going down that road that I've gone down, you know. Eventually you're going to find yourself all alone and nowhere around. And it's gonna, you know, it's gonna take a while for the rest of my family to probably come back around. You know, I've been considered the black sheep of the family. You know, and my grandma, she had 7 kids, so I got oodles and gobs of cousins. You know, and I'm talking about first, second, and third cousins. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have 7 kids, you can imagine 7 kids having 7 kids having kids, and then those kids having kids, and then those kids having kids. I don't know how many cousins I have, you know. It's hard to count because I've lost touch with a lot of them, and I'm hoping one of these days that they will come back around and start calling me, because, you know, it's just and trying to be a part of my life again. I almost you know, I might have already ruined it for a lot of them, you know. I've even lost cousins, you know, a lot. I've had one cousin die from a drug overdose. I've had a lot of cousins die from a drug overdose, and therefore, in that said, you know, that's why family tends to steer themselves clear, because they don't want to see the pain that it causes the rest of the family. It's really a bad epidemic out there. There's a lot of people drinking themselves into the grave. There's a lot of people in there drug overdoses in the grave. There's just a lot of things with my family, but there's not too many people in my family that are going down the wrong road that I did, and the ones that have are in the grave. They're gone. You know, Kyla, I loved her so much, and she died at a young age. I think she died in her, I think, late 20s, early 30s. I had another one that didn't even make it, another cousin, Brian. He didn't even make it to see his 30s, I don't think. Another one, Jesse. I haven't heard from Jesse in years. He was just a drifter. All he knew how to do was play the guitar for money on the streets, you know. But I am glad that I've survived. I am glad that I've survived, and every day I've learned this. Through this accident that I've had, I've learned that each and every day is a gift and not a given right, you know. And I had to learn how to wake up and smell the coffee burning on the back burner, you know, and turn it around. And I'm so glad that I'm getting to turn it around and meeting people out there that actually care about me, and meeting family out there that are starting to care about me again. I love it a lot. It just goes to show that if you start living life like you're supposed to, good things will start happening to you sooner or later. You know, I guess it just takes a while for the rest of my family to see how serious I am about it before they will want to pick up that phone and call me. You know, Robbie, he watched videos. He watched all my videos, a lot of them, and it took him a while to call me. And he finally did, and I'm blessed with him that he did. And we had a lot of catching up to do. That's what I've been doing, is rolling around with him. He has a job that lets him travel, that he has to travel to do his job. And he asked me not to share what his job is, or if he even wants to go on camera. His children, he said that's okay if they want to get on the make a video with Limpy. And they do call me Limpy. That makes me feel good, because Limpy is a good person, you know. My real name, I don't know, man. You know, my real name is Stephen Lee. And they don't want to call me Stephen or Lee. They want to call me Limpy, because Limpy is a new person. He's a new man. And that's all I got to say is I'm sorry I haven't been shooting the videos, but I've just been catching up and spending a lot of time with family. And I'll give y'all a sneak preview. We're right next to a junkyard. Or actually, it's not a junkyard. It's an individual that lives right down the street from Robbie. And it's a guy, every time he gets money, he doesn't put it in the bank. He buys a car. So his front yard is full of antique classic cars. Behind the fence is full of antique classic cars. I mean, everywhere you look in his whole land, he owns like, I think 10 acres of land, but nothing but classic cars on it. Even got a 67 Camaro. I think I seen a Bel Air out there. I think I seen a T-Bucket. I seen a lot of them. So I'm going to be shooting a video tomorrow and going and walking that land for you and showing y'all all a lot of neat cars. A lot of good things are happening for me, man. I sure am glad. I'm really grateful. Anyway, I'll catch y'all later. Till tomorrow. Limpster out.